Okay, good afternoon everybody and welcome to Middlesbrough's training ground. Joined here by Gareth Southgate and Kieran Trippier to preview tomorrow's UEFA Euro 2024 warm-up fixture against Bosnia and Herzegovina at St James's Park. Bit of housekeeping, if we can stick the first round of questions to a maximum of 3 questions per person so we can get around the room, and then of course if you've still got further questions we'll come back to you. And Rob Dorsey, if you want to get us underway.
Hi Gareth, nice to see you. Can we jump straight into it and talk about some of the injured players that you've been monitoring and working with? Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw and Anthony Gordon weren't out there today. Mm-hmm. Can you update us on each of those please in where they're at and importantly how that might impact their involvement in the tournament, potentially in a 26?
All are progressing well, so we're pleased with the progress they've made. None of them will be involved tomorrow. Same tomorrow for Bukayo, and probably the same tomorrow for John Stones. Everybody else will be involved.
Can you update us on Bukayo Saka and John Stones? Because we saw them out on the grass.
Yeah, John, because he reported a bit later, so hasn't worked with us for the number of days, so better for him to follow an individual programme for the next couple of days. Bukayo's fine, he's progressing well, but the periodisation we've taken from his injury is to rest tomorrow, and then he should be available for Friday.
Can you talk to us individually about each of Maguire and Shaw and Gordon? Because you said Luke Shaw...
Not really.
No?
Well, I mean, they're all progressing well. What can I tell you? I think Anthony has a good chance to be available for Friday. The other two, that's a little bit more unlikely, but we just see how quickly they can go, really.
Thank you. Kieran, good to see you. How's your fitness right now? Because we were worried about you for a while as well. You missed the best part of a couple of months because of that calf injury. How's it feeling right now in terms of your fitness, and how confident are you that you'll be able to play a full part in Germany?
Yeah, my calf's feeling great. Obviously it was disappointing towards end of the season to pick up that injury, especially with the Euros coming up, but I've worked extremely hard in my rehab to get myself right for my club and then my country. But my fitness is fine. I'm ready. I'm ready to go, and yeah, no worries.
Good stuff. Thank you.
Hi, Gareth. Can you just talk about Jude Bellingham and how pleased you were for him and his success last night?
Yeah, he's had a fantastic season to join the biggest club in the world and perform in the way he has throughout the season. Has been an incredible year for him. Absolutely delighted for him to win last night. Obviously, Jayden was playing as well on the other side, and Jamie. So, you know, we had players involved on both sides that we didn't have any favourites as such. But yeah, for him to cap that season with winning a Champions League has been a phenomenal year for him. Absolutely delighted for him.
And when people talk about the rise of Jude Bellingham, what's he like as a person? The one thing that struck me when I heard him interviewed last night was how grounded he was after such a momentous occasion. What's he like as a person?
Well, you saw him with his family, and they have to take enormous credit for that, because he is as he comes across in his interviews. He's authentic in his interviews. That's how he is every day. Whoever he's interacting with among our staff, among our players. So he's got the humility, the understanding. I'm sure joining a big club like Madrid, he recognised he had to earn the respect of people like Luka Modric, Toni Kroos, but he would have also had little respect on the training pitch for that and would have gone and attacked that challenge. So that's why he's adapted as well as he has, I'm sure.
And Kieran, how much admiration do you have for him? Because obviously you've been to Madrid. You know the difficulties it is to try and adapt, but for such a young man to go there and have the success that he has, what would you say about him?
I think it says everything about him. I think I spoke about it many times. It doesn't seem like he's a 20-year-old. He's so mature for his age, and you know it comes with pressure as well, especially playing for somebody like Real Madrid. And you know he's took it by stride, and you know fair play to him. All the boys are absolutely delighted for him. Not just the Champions League, but the season that he's had. So, you know, we're looking forward to meeting up with him, and you know, hopefully, he can bring that form with England.
Henry next. Thanks.
Hi, Kieran. Hi, Gareth. Gareth, your first tournament game as manager, 2018 against Tunisia, you had in your defence, you had Jordan Pickford, Kyle Walker, John Stones, Harry Maguire and Kieran. Obviously, Kieran was playing as a right wing back, but that could possibly be your defence 2,000 days later. What does that say about the sort of their excellence, their longevity, all in their 30s, but also about the fact they haven't had enough pressure put on them by people coming through? Obviously, you've had one or two injuries. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's testimony to their consistency, you know. They've all been playing at top clubs throughout that time and have delivered in the biggest matches under the most intense pressure. I think there's a bit of a bond between that group that you get from experiencing those big nights together and having to dig in at the moments you have to dig in and coming through those challenges. You know, I think we've got some good young defenders coming through now who, you know, I think all these boys know there's always a challenge. They have that at their clubs. They've had to answer that question season after season, because when you're at a big club, they're always going to buy new players and put you under pressure. So it's no different with us. And yet, what they're brilliant at, they make those new players feel welcome. You know, they allow them to settle in, because we know any of those players could be in the team over the next 5-6 weeks. But their pride, their drive, their determination to win has given us a platform in the 7 years we've been in charge.
Thanks, Henry. I'm sure Rob will have many more, but before we go back to him, any other further questions in the room? No hands? Rob, back to you.
You're in, Rob.
Thank you. I'm back in.
Fill your boots, mate.
I've got a long list for you. How long have you
Let's
got?
go for it.
I mean, look, I want to understand a bit more about what you're thinking you want to achieve and what you want to see from these two games, because how do you approach them? Is it about experimentation, or is it about trying to build up a first team squad, if you like, that's spend a bit of time together and ready to go in the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, there's a reality on the constraints that we've got, in that 4 or 5 of the guys are not with us yet. That's been the same for the last 2 of the tournaments. Of course, Qatar, we didn't have anybody until 5 days before the first game. So some players need minutes. You know, some players are short of minutes. The whole group that have been with us for 5-6 days have had a couple of weeks without a game. So everybody's going to benefit from that. So there's a big physical aspect to what we're looking at, periodisation-wise, and then an opportunity to see some combinations, see people in different positions perhaps, some players with fewer caps than others, that international experience playing at what will be a brilliant atmosphere is always important. So lots of different objectives, and I think the boys will play well. I like how they've trained. They've come with a really good mentality all week, and yeah, looking forward to the game.
Does the result matter?
Well, results always matter, because we'll have 3 days of whatever if we don't win. But for me, it's about playing well. It's about building what we're doing over the next 5-6 weeks, because we're going to be together. I think it's another 43 days or whatever to the final. Not every one of those days is going to be a great one. Not every hour is going to be perfect. But we're trying to embed some principles this week in what we've talked about, in what we've worked on. And yeah, tomorrow is the first sort of opportunity to display that in public.
You've got 5 young, uncapped players in the squad who are all bound to be desperate to make their debuts. What are your thoughts about those, and how much you might be able to use them over the next few days?
Yeah, that will be varying. You know, we're not just in a process of giving caps. We're preparing for a tournament. There are some things we definitely would like to see, and we're very happy with the way all of those guys that have come in have trained, and so, you know, they're here for a great experience. I think the week already has thrown up some brilliant experiences for them. Some will be involved in the game tomorrow. Some might not. Some might travel with us to Germany. Some might not. I can't be definitive on that yet, because there are a few other issues to sort out, but you know, the minimum should be they have an incredible experience and they feel an understanding of how we work here, what the culture is, what it's like to be an England player, so that moving forward, whatever their role is, they can be the best version of themselves.
Quick follow-up on Jude Bellingham, because he has had an extraordinary season, that everybody can see that. He's played an awful lot of football as well, and it's notable that you've given him the whole week off. He won't be involved in either of these two games. What does he need to do? What do you want him to do in that week to try and get Jude Bellingham ready for a long tournament where he's probably going to have to play an awful lot more football?
Yeah, have time with his family, clear his head, whatever he wants to do. I'd rather not know, really. I think it's about psychological freshness. We could make him report tomorrow and be heavy, and you know, you've got to be with the group and integrate as quickly as possible, but let's think about the boy and the individual. That's what we're always trying to do. One or two of our boys we were going to give a bit longer to, but they needed to train a bit more and be involved with us a bit earlier, like John, for example. But with Jude, he's played right to the end, beyond where everybody else has played. I think the psychological freshness will be good for him. So, yeah, he's super professional, so he's going to tick over. He's going to physically tick over and do whatever he's going to do. But for us, we didn't need to see him before next Saturday.
Kieran, so many injuries concerning the back four that Henry was talking about there, with yourself and John Stones and Harry Maguire, all with not the amount of game time you might have liked. It could look a bit of a different back four, couldn't it, at this tournament, depending on how everybody comes through?
No, of course, obviously, we understand there's injuries, but there's quite a bit of time, you know, for the players to come back. But you know, we've got players who need to step up. You know, everyone has to be ready. Like myself, for example, in the Euros, when you know I wasn't expecting to play left back, and I did. So you have to be ready, and you know, all the lads have had a good week's training. They're all ready. So yeah, that's the most important thing. You have to be ready, because you know you can be ready, you know, out of nowhere really. So.
And last one from me, again to you, Kieran. We shouldn't forget you've scored in a World Cup semi-final. What are your thoughts about how far this squad could go this time? Yeah,
like I've said it many times, we shouldn't be shy to say that we can't win it. We're not saying that in an arrogant way. We've got a great squad, you know, top manager, top staff. You know, we've been so close recently over so many years, and it's just about taking that next step now. And I fully believe with the squad that we've got, we can go all the way. But you know, we need to earn the right, and yeah, you know, the most important thing is the togetherness that we've got in the squad. It's unbelievable. You know, probably the best I've been involved in. So yeah, all looking forward to it already. Yeah, the first step is tomorrow, and it's a game that we want to win.
Thanks, Rob. A few from James Ollie at ESPN.
Hi, Gareth. Just back on Jude. Obviously, understandable that you want to give him some time off. Is it sort of a bit of a sacrifice for you and your planning when you're talking about, you know, trying to create the team dynamic and patterns of play and working on those kind of things this week, to not have presumably a key part of that involved?
Yeah, but it's not the most important thing. The most important thing for Jude is rest, recovery, and we'll benefit from that. So that's the constraints of international football. We don't have the players as often as you do at a club to quite be as cohesive. So you have to work out what are the most important things. And at this moment in time, in my opinion, for Jude and therefore for the team, most important thing is time to recover and psychologically switch off.
And just one for Kieran, if I can. There's always a lot of sort of positivity around the culture that Gareth's created around the team, and obviously this would be another tournament you're going to go to with Gareth and with the squad. Can you just talk about the evolution of that culture and how you've seen it change since you made your debut in 2017?
Yeah, even when I first arrived, I got chucked in the deep end when we went to the Marines. I was thinking, is this like every camp? But no, it was, you know, things like that are brilliant to bring people together. But yeah, going on from like the 2018 World Cup, and you know, some players, you know, come and go, and as you said, Gareth has created, you know, what it means to represent England, and we all bought into it, obviously, and Gareth deserves huge credit for that. you know, me personally, I've got a lot, obviously, to thank Gareth for one, giving me the opportunity to represent my country and having that trust in me as well, you know. So comparing that to now it's got so many young players, exciting talent coming through, and the most important thing for us senior players is making them feel welcome, making them settle in straight away so that they, you know, can express themselves more and perform at the highest level. So, but as you said, the togetherness in this squad, I know we all say it, but it's true. We all get on so well, and you know, Gareth deserves huge credit for that.
Thank you.
Thanks, James. Henry has one to finish there.
Gareth, can you tell us who your captain is tomorrow?
Kieran, yeah.
Kieran, that's convenient. Kieran, obviously another great honour and at a place you know well. What's it going to be like leading England out there?
Yeah, it's going to be very special. Obviously, at the stadium, obviously that I play out week in, week out, and again, I've got to thank Gareth again for giving me that trust. And yeah, but for me, it's if I have the armband or not, if I play or not, I'm always there. I'm always ready for the team, and I'm a leader with or without the armband. So I've never had it on a permanent basis, and so yeah, that's the type of character that I am. But to lead the lads out, it's very special. My son will be mascot as well, so that's even more special. So yeah, yeah, really proud moment for myself.
You guys, we'll end it there. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.